I'm just saying with anger, I want to get the best anger. I want to get the 5 on this joint. Fact. Peace to the gods and earths. Salam Allah, salam alaikum, shalom. Peace to the family and friends, Sister Breeze. Out here with the God, born unique, out Trenton. We just seen this beautiful memorial out here in the hood, so we was like, we gotta go do something right here. They got the 5 over here, you know what I mean, 5 of the law, you know what I mean. They got Malcolm, got the black woman, the queen up there, the earth. Get y'all. Source reach the world, but touch the hood first. That's a scripture right there. Dedicated Trenton, New Jersey, Sage Collective, Will Casso, Merles for Molly. If it's black, we with that. We're gonna pay our respects to the young boy that got killed on. This one here, another one of our little young brothers, lost in the struggle and hustle of these streets, gone but never forgotten, lives through the people, lives through the struggle. How you doing, bro? You alright, bro? Doing fine. Life, it was all too soon, it was all too quick. A moment in time we won't forget. Our sunshine on a cloudy day, the smile, now just a memory that won't fade away. Remember how we lived, but don't forget how he died. Violence serves no purpose through a mother's and father's eyes. That's peace. Tayshawn Robinson, 2000-2018. Thoughts of peace to the brother. Peace.
And base God with the when we be speaking on the unity, right?
Yeah.
And then there'd be a lot of arguments, or it'd be a lot of I learned even with my family,
Right.
my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my cousin. You know what I mean? Everybody don't get along.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And some people, they ain't gonna get along probably for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
But that don't mean I gotta get caught up in that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I was not there for some of these things.
Yeah.
I don't know people intent. You know, that's one thing I was building on with the brother on the podcast, and I was talking about intentions. You know what I mean? And it take a long time for you to see the intentions of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took a long time for people to see the intent of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and what he was teaching us, and what he said that he got directly. And that's what a lot of people, that's a discrepancy as well. This man said he got it directly from Allah, face to face.
Right.
That's what he said,
Yeah.
right? He said, I talked to God face to face. I got this information, all this information that we got from all different branches. It all came from one source.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's so. Anybody who have an argument with that, they arguing against the very fabric or the foundation in which we all stand upon.
Yeah. And the one thing with it, like I used to deal with the guys, I used to explain to them, I was like, listen, the division, Yaku's law, see, one thing to learn, when he say something, and you say you're conscious, you 5%, you FOI, whatever, you gotta, you saying that you believe that these lessons on the 120 is true. That's what the foundation is. If that's true, Yaku, number 28, I mean, Yaku's law, all that's true too. So if Yaku taught his people how to divide and conquer the original people, how to come up into our cribs and our homes and our apartments and our hoods, I mean, oh, I heard this, I mean, why you messing with her? Why you messing with her? You know, back in the day, she was, back in the day, you know, him, I don't like it, he too tall, he too dark, she too, look at his hair, look at he bald here, and they get into the he said, she said, gossip stuff, and the conscience is supposed to be like, you know what I mean? Like you can't come with technology on somebody that knows, you know what I mean? But sad to say, we still fall for that trap. And I used to, out of loyalty, I would just ride. And then one thing that I learned when I was a young child, and I asked my mom one time, I was like, why you don't talk to Aunt Millie? Like, you know, you see, like, every time they come around each other, it seems like it's just attention in them, or like clouds coming. We had a family, you know, grandma crib, you know, we Millie did. They got the Christmas ham or whatever, Thanksgiving turkey. And I see them two in the same room, and it's like this, the whole vibe, the conversation, even as I'm like 12, I could feel the difference. Like, yo, why is so much division in the family like that? And my mom would never tell me. Then one day, you know, she had a little vodka, she had a little weed, and she just, you know what I mean, she started breaking it down. And she said, you know why I don't mess with her? I was like, why? She said, when I was 16, James Brown came to the Uptown, and he took off a mood ring and gave me the mood ring, and she stole my damn ring.
Oh shit!
No, the ring is a fake ring. I mean, it ain't worth nothing. But back then, James Brown was that boy. You know, teenagers loved him. He's like the Beatles for them on the black tip. So I'm like, so you telling me you held a 10-year grudge over a fake ring from a singer that didn't even know your name for real, for real. You know what I mean? You know, but she's like, that's my position, and we, you know what I mean? We never talked since. We always had, and it'd be that place like Crips and Bloods. It'd be like, you know what I mean?
Right out my head.
it's like,
right out my head.
Farrakhan and Silas and Jeremiah and them. You know what I mean? In the ranks, that's why I explained to the brother. I was like, nah, bro, you gotta understand. FOIs are divided against FOIs. MGTs divided against MGTs. 5% divided against 5. It ain't 5% against fruit. It would be beautiful if y'all had a single collective unity and we had no, we divided amongst ourselves. And that division just go into every aspect, everything we do, sad to say. You know what I mean?
And it makes everybody lose sight of the main thing. I was reading something last night, the past night. Throughout the teachings, you always hear this, throwing out righteousness. You know what I mean? The God said, we said, a lot of people say this thing we talk about called righteousness. You know what I mean? And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad just explaining that he had to develop a new character in us. You know what I mean? I look at it as it's 2022, some of the same problems, issues, and concerns that was taking place in the 30s.
Right.
Let alone the 60s, 70s, then it trickled down until we still faced with those same issues. As far as the character of
when you look at those lessons, and you look at the message, see, that's why I look at, whenever it's a problem, I look at what do the Lamb teach about that? And he explained to us, you know what I mean, how 50,000 years ago, you know what I mean, Granddaddy Shabazz, you know, he was like, look, I want to go conquer the wild beasts in the jungles. The other imams, they disagreed with him, you know what I mean? And it was like, you go ahead and do your thing, but we ain't going. So that tribe, that branch, they went over into the jungle, and they got tougher. And they mastered the wild animals there. You know what I mean? You study ancient Kemet, Egypt, they mummified cats. You know what I mean? You know, so it wasn't that he wasn't wrong, he was wrong. He was really right, but his delivery to them, they was like, why do we need to go there? Now, I mean, in that mentality, like, why would we go back? That's like somebody be like, yo, I think we can start fires if we get friction, fuel, and oxygen. I could rub some sticks there. Like, man, we got microwaves, we got big lighters now. Well, there's no need for us to go back there and do that. We've been there, done that, but in this tape, if technology, if the thing fall apart, if it was World War III or something, then we didn't have to, a lot of people wouldn't survive because they lost basic manual survival skills. Now, they don't know how to go to the creek to get some water. They don't know how to dig an irrigation well, grow some vegetables and fruit. Now, so the messenger, he broke it down like this to us. And this is why I don't fear change, or I don't dislike our disunity. So I see our disunity. Everything serves a law's purpose. It's important that we have this disunity for real. The short version is, we still have that recessive gene in us. See, right now, I'm talking about now, I'm saying 1,000 years in the past, 1,000 years in the future, we will still have a dominant and recessive gene. We will still have a black and a brown germ in the original man. That recessive gene in our DNA is the polarity. It's this positive and negative. It's still there. You crack open an atom of anything, it still has that proton and electron. Now, that natural law of attraction is still there. So the messenger told us, he said, in the future, we're not going to have that recessive gene. We're not going to have that negative force. He said, look at the universe. It's all black. He said, when you look at the sun, you can't look at it. If you look at the sun, you can't see. You stare at that sun, you'll go blind. By nature, God can't look at the sun. God can't see God as he really is because it'll blind you. When you look at it, you can't see God as he really is. So in our brain, we thinking with the 85% gods, Jesus and Yahweh, they these holy, perfect beings and this, that. But the messenger like, nah, that's why Muhammad is part God, part devil. He came from the east to the west, came from riches to poverty. You know what I mean? So it's a science there. So when you really see the sun as it is, you be like, the sun has black spots. There's flaws on that sun. But the light is so bright, you can't see the flaws unless you're looking for them. In order to, if you try to look at it, you're going to blind yourself. So you got to put a dark solar disk in there and then look at it. I mean, take away the light, take away the ultraviolet rays. Now I can see the dark spots. Okay, I see God as he really is. It's nothing spooky there. But that don't take away Amun Ra or raise it up. It's like it germinates. It does all that. It shines on the righteous and the wicked. You know what I mean? It germinates the seed. It works. You know what I mean? So it is with the teachings. You know what I mean? People like I remember when I was first learning about the 5% on our side, on the Nation Islam side, they used to be like, oh, Malcolm X put him out the nation for using drugs and gambling. And I'm like, he sound like me. He sound like my pop. He sound like everybody all the day. He sound like he from North Philly. They was drinking 40s. We smoking weed. We Philly blunts and we playing dice and running around with raggedy guns. And I mean, it's like, okay, the real guys do it. So that didn't deter me from anything. You know what I mean? People they be like, Master Muhammad was selling heroin. I'm like, dang, he hustling? So it as opposed to making me look down like, oh, you know what I mean? It really made me intrigued. Like, I got to study this dude. You know what I mean? Whether it's true or not, I'm like, damn, this sounds like a real God. Because the music God is this perfect, spooky, angelic, you know what I mean? But I'm looking at it like Malcolm, like the messenger. I'm like, it's real stuff going on here. You know what I mean? So it's not that I agree with it or, you know, I wouldn't like it to go another way. I understand the universal order of things like, nah, we live in a universe of dichotomy, contradictions. You know what I mean? You got to juxtapose, put the good next to the evil, and the good thing is, the good never is lighter than the evil. You weighing of the heart, as the ancient Egyptians say. So I'm on a tip like, yeah. So in 1975, the Nation Islam fell. What was the 5% nation doing at that time? They still was teaching original man, this ASAP black man, bigger on the Korean planet, Earth, our civilization. They still had Master Fard Muhammad pristine teaching. Now I'm a minister at this time. I'm reading in the Quran, and in the Quran is the 24 scientists is writing these scripts, and they saying in the Quran, listen, we giving y'all this truth. If y'all don't adhere to it, surely Allah can remove y'all and bring in another people. and they gonna love the truth more than your error. I'm like, yo, this it's all in accordance with the universal word. It's all practice. I'm like, man, I love the fire. I love the fire. I love Mass Fire. I love the Moors. I love the not that I love everything or everybody. I believe I don't believe in nothing as long as it ain't spooky, supernatural. You know what I mean? But I could see the common denominator in everything.